Today we have Mac, who has suspected leptospirosis. So as you can see here, I am washing my hands before we do anything more. I am now donning my PPE, so drying my hands and putting on the appropriate PPE, so gloves, mask and gown, before I do anything else. I am now collecting all of the equipment that I need for my health check, pretty much, and to take my sample, which I have put all together in a photo just up here. It is now time to get a weight for Mr. Mac, so just getting him out nice and gently here to then pop him over on the scales. My colleague and I are now just going to lift him up and get him comfortably on the table so that we can start with the health check. As you can see here, I'm just taking his heart rate, and if you look deep into those oodle human eyes, you can see that he's unimpressed, but he is letting us do so. I am now just taking his temperature, making sure that everything is going okay. And now I am just taking his rest rate. He is panting quite a bit. He is not feeling very well and is a little bit stressed. So it was on the higher side of things, but he was a really good boy. Mucous membranes were nice and pink, and his CRT was less than 2, which was perfect. So I'm just going to fill everything out in my sheet. It is now time to take my sample, so I decided to take a blood sample for him, because then we can send it off and test for the leptospirosis, make sure that our suspicions are correct. So I have my nurse holding him and holding his neck in the right position so that it's easiest for me to see where that vein is popping up there, and just making sure that I can get the sample. Now that I have finished my health check, I need to go and get the medication for the dog. We're giving him some Prevamax just to help with any nausea, so I've got to take off my PPE, making sure that I'm taking off it in the correct way, and then rewash my hands, and then re-put on PPE to go and speak to my vet before dealing with Mac again. Because I haven't touched Mac again yet, I'm not putting on my gloves just yet while I work out the dose and draw everything up with my vet. But before I give the injection to Mac, you'll see that I do put gloves back on before touching him. As you can see here, I am now working out that dose with my vet. So she pretty much told me that it is max weight divided by 10 mg per mil, which is the concentration of the Prevamax. So we got 1.78 mils is what he gets. And you'll see me draw that up in just a second. Now that I have all of that drawn up, I am reapplying my gloves and I have my nurse holding on to Mac so that my vet can watch me give that Prevamax, and we're just giving that subcut. Now that we have done that, I am just cleaning the cage and getting it ready to put Mac back in. I'd just like to say that I did forget to film me doing this on the day that we actually had Mac, hence why I do not have the PPE on. I know that if I did film it on the day, then I would have to have the PPE on to do this with Mac, but we're just cleaning it up and getting it ready for him to be in there for the rest of the day. So I've made it all cozy for him, and I have also just putting in some water for him to have, but we've been told not to give him any food because of the nausea. We are now popping Mac back away into his house for the rest of the day, just to make sure that he's nice and comfortable. We'll send off those bloods and we'll just keep an eye on him for the rest of the day. So shutting him up in there, the good boy that he is, and then just cleaning off the surface that we were working with. I sprayed that down with F10, allowed it to sit for 30 minutes before wiping it down, and I also just took off all my PPE and re-washed my hands.